Hi everyone, so in this video we are going to talk about how to set up your VS Code. So you might be working on the Windows, Linux or Mac. Once you download and install VS Code, which is very easy, you just Google how to download VS Code or from where to download VS Code. So from here you can download for Windows, for Mac and for Debian or RPM package for the Ubuntu or Fedora, right? So it's very easy to set up. Once you have VS Code up and running, what all plugins, what all tools, what all setup you need, what all plugins, extensions you need to do the things in the right way, because there are lots of plugins and extensions are available. How to set up your VS Code profile the right way, this is what we are going to VS Code setup. I will just talk about some plugins and all those things which I have. So let's talk about what all things do I have. Okay, so here you can see these are the extensions, and if I just zoom it in, you can see some more tools in the left bar, right? So Git lens is really a nice tool and you must have it to initialize the repository. And if you, when you are cloning the existing repository, you would know what is happening under the repository. Why the terminal is not enabled? Let me restart the app. So it shows up now in the terminal. So this is really important. Like terminal, it is the same as the Mac terminal or Windows shell or iterm we are using on the Mac. It's like it is going to do all these things. We should always work in the repository. So here I am initializing a repository, and here I can just do git because it is creating this git folder, and here it will create a config. So here, what are the tools? If you look into the extensions, Git-lens, you can see I have a Docker. Really important if you are using a Docker or GitHub Actions and all. This is the Thunder client. I mean, this is the REST client, really powerful. You can just use it. It's if you wanted to test your APIs, then you can just use this REST client. You don't need to go to the Postman or Insomnia or any other tool which you wanted to use. You can just do get, put, post, delete, all the API testing you can do here. You can even set a collections, environments and all. Okay, and other important tools, I do have some more like NX console for monorepo setup. This is the Docker Compose. If you are using a Docker, if you have to start your Docker. Rest all is Docker. I have important Git-lens. Rest all, these are the extensions and plugins which you will find really important, like okay, ESLint, right? It's there. Prettier is there, right? Prettier, ESLint, some more extensions you can install. And there is a Node.js extension pack which contains the collections of tools. You don't need to search for each and everything. I think this is deprecated, but it has some tools which you can install independently. I'm just checking what all tools. You can see npm intelligence, path intelligence. It's required when you are writing a JavaScript, TypeScript code and importing, exporting things, right? npm, ESLint, Prettier, and all those things. So you can see VS Code, Node.js development starter pack. This is required, obviously. It has all those things. Import codes required. Live share. If you wanted to do share live with your friends on the real time. Otherwise, these are required. npm intelligence, ESLint, import cost. And if you are using some HTML and all, live share or there is, I think, live server. I think that's name. Reload server or live server, that's a name. I don't know why it's slow. Yes, live server. When you are just doing a simple web development and wanted to run on particular host port, you can just do that. And if you wanted to run simple JavaScript code, you can use this run extension. Like I wrote index.js, which I'm calling, and I wanted to run JavaScript, Node.js code and all. For that, you can use this extension. Okay, there should be a run extension. And apart from that, there are really lots of extensions. You can install the theme, auto close tags that will automatically add close tags to you. I will talk about my installed extension, so you might get familiar, right? What all I have installed, because it's like my VS Code is older than 3-4 years. GraphQL, I do GraphQL, and then these are the icon themes I will skip. Bracket pair colorizer, because what happens is when you are writing a code, you don't know which is opening and which is closing. So this will really helps you to identify, okay, this is opening, this is closing. Code runner, yeah, this is what I was talking about. When you are running a simple Node.js code and you wanted to run it locally, then you can use this code runner environment. Then other important thing is the Docker Compose, Docker Explorer. That will help you to see the Docker containers. You can see here in the left hand side, if I start my Docker environment, Docker daemon, I would be able to see all those things. These are the themes. Git blame is really helpful, so that you can also know who is changing the code, who has changed the code last, right? Sometimes what happens is we go to GitLab and GitHub to see Git blame, to see the history of who all had changed the file. But Git blame will give you, okay, this person has changed this file. Git extension pack, it includes everything what Git needs: Git lens, Git project manager, Git log. Git history, really powerful. It will give you the whole history of the file. See, it gives you something like this view. So whatever the internal Git tool you use, everything is exposed. Git ignore will give you the Git ignore file for multiple setup. All the plugins for the GraphQL here, if you are using GraphQL. This is important, import cost. So it will tell you what is the cost of the package which you are importing, like moment.js, say any package you are importing in your project. It will give you the size of that package. Indent rainbow, it will give you the rainbow colors when you are doing indentations. That is good for maybe Python, but also good for the Node.js. Live server to play with HTML and simple web development. Some themes, Node.js snippets if you wanted to use them. Otherwise, there are some AI tools also, AI extensions also, that will help you to auto-complete the code. I think there is a black box AI that will give you that will help you when you are writing code. That will give you the suggestions what next you can write. Some themes, prettier setup. Prisma, if you are using Prisma, then it will, when you are writing a Prisma schema, it will colorize it properly. Icons, Svelte, because I code everything, Svelte, Next.js, React, Angular, everything. So I have all different type of plugins. Svelte Intelligence, important plugin. And then I have Tailwind. Yes, Tailwind is because it is giving you autocomplete. So when you are using MD4 or margin bottom 4 or margin top, then it will give you the suggestions of all the available classes by the Tailwind. Terraforms, when you are using CDK and Terraforms. Thunder client, REST client, which we have discussed. Some code snippets if you really want to get help. Otherwise, code snippets you can skip. So these are the themes. .env, it will just highlight the .env files which you are going to have with the colors, so you know, okay, what all you have in the .env. ESLint we already have from Microsoft. And rest all is all about themes, because every day I change my theme because I don't want it to get bored with the same color. So if you want to see the set color theme, TDS design, no, I don't like this. Light, no. Design, yeah, this looks still fine. I can live with this for one day, then I will change the theme. And YAML and all these TypeScript importer that will help you to import, export things, some snippets. And this is all. Summertime thing, what is this? This looks nice. What is summertime? Okay, it is giving me the feeling of summer. Let's say that's good. So all these are the important themes, and this is giving me my setup. And here you can see these are the workspace, all the timelines, Docker containers, you have Docker images, Azure, because I have these extensions added, right? So I have all these things getting added here. And when you add a terminal, you can also see the different port. And here this is important, this prettier is enabled, that's working fine. This is the prettier plus, and if you, this is HTML, so VS Code automatically identifying, okay, what is your content which you are writing right now. So it's the content type is HTML. Otherwise, when you are writing a JavaScript, TypeScript, you can set the language of your project if VS Code is not able to identify. The indentation is space 2, UTF-8 is encoding, left to right, HTML code, and this go live. So it's like a live server is added here. So if you wanted to go live, you can click on to this. It is exposing this port. And there are many other tools. I will tell you, like I used to use many tools, but my VS Code was getting heavy, so I have to uninstall. You can see this is the Git graph. Currently there is no remote repository. Tab 9, I think this is some AI tool. Tab 9 starter. You can start a free line. I have not enabled it. This is the Git graph. I can show you for some repository. So here you can see Git graph. When I click onto this, you can close this. This is giving you the Git graph. This is like the whole history. Or you can also click onto this. I think this should give me the blame. And you can see the whole blame history. And if I wanted to check, okay, who changed this file, right? So when you click onto the file and mouse over to this, you will see this is the Git commit ID and all the information about this, right? And I can do more things. This is the master branch, right? You can check out the different branch. These are the remote branches which are available. This is how the synchronization happens. This is, I think, Git graph. This is the Git graph, right? This is how my, not a complex branching strategy I'm using, just creating a merging directly to the one trunk branch. This is the master we have. This is the Git graph, Git history, right? So Git tools are really important, and I think we use them every day. So always use this thing, Git graph. Commit details also you can get. But what happens is this view is not good. We always end up using the command line for all those things. File history, visual file history, search, okay, Git details. So these are the files I have changed. Line history, file history. If I go back here, we can do lots of things here. Commit, branch, remote, push, stash, tags, squash, all those things are possible. It's all the same. Whatever the terminal whatever you are doing on the command line, all those things you can do from here by clicking on one buttons. But I mostly prefer doing this from the command line. These are like some branches. This is my remote origin, right? Because we are pushing to the remote. I have a two stash. I don't have any tags. And this is my tree. Create work tree also we can create. So this is all about your setup, and you must have the same type of setup. And I really don't like this theme, so I will stick to item 1 dark. Yeah, this is fine. Okay,